cover the freak show of the Democrat convention and a whole bunch more. If you caught my early morning stream on the drive in, I talked about some of what I'm going to bring up here, but get a little more in depth with it. We will be on the air in 18 seconds. There's already people on hold, so if you are on hold, hang in there. Here we go.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All righty, 5 minutes after the hour. It is Tuesday, August 20th, 2024. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We got a lot to cover. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll get to the calls in a bit. I'm going to tell you this about the Democrat National Convention. I'm not watching any of that garbage. I'm not watching any of it. If something worthy of my attention occurs, I'll find out about it on social media, online or something. I am not watching this collection of freaks, geeks, and corrupt public officials that take bribes and misuse the authority of the government to bring criminal charges against the leader of the political opposition, Donald Trump, as if they have credible things to say. No one at the Democrat National Convention has anything legitimate to say. The Democrat Party is not a legitimate party. You know, the Democrat Party, most of it, what they want to do is destroy the United States. Let me play a clip for you. Let me find this. Maybe I'll play it later. I found something new of Kamala. It's pretty bad. I'll share it with you after the first break, this thing of Kamala, because I don't want to get sidetracked on it right now. You know, when the Democrats launched the insurrection against the federal government, commonly known as the American Civil War, okay, and they lost. I mean, the Democrat Party has always been a party of lowlives supporting some of the scummiest things that our civilization has ever experienced. The Democrat Party launched an insurrection against the federal government. Can you imagine? For the sole purpose so that they could own black people. Yeah. And even though the Confederacy lost, the Democrat insurrection against the United States has never ended. And the Democrat Party, if you listen to their freaks, geeks, and weirdos, not just this convention, but any of their conventions, the Democrat Party is about only a couple of things. But the majority of these weirdos that you see in Chicago and every other Democrat event, they have one goal: to bring down the United States. That is the main goal of the Democrat Party, is the collapse of the United States. And some of them have very different reasons for doing this, but they want to bring down the United States. Some of them are communist. Some of them are just bought and paid for by the CCP. Some of them are agents of terror. You know, there's all kinds of things going on. Some of them are just, a lot of them, maybe not just some, are useful idiots. But the Democrat Party is not a legitimate political party. They want to destroy the United States. This clip I found of Kamala Harris, which I played on my podcast last. You see, you guys miss a lot. If you don't listen to my podcast, you miss a lot. I can get a little deeper in the things that I do here, and I co-host it with my wife and the Brian Craig Show podcast on all podcast platforms, including Audible. Very fancy. I'm on Audible too, Spotify, everything. And over 1,700 episodes, by the way, of my podcast. I also upload it to my YouTube channel. But anyway, I found this clip yesterday that is just the greatest clip ever of Kamala Harris. I'll play it for you coming up after the break. But they want to destroy the United States, and they believe that if the United States did not exist, that the world would be a perfect place. Now, this is a very stupid concept. The United States is the oldest democracy in the world. When the United States was formed, it's formed by slaveholders and all this stuff. When the United States was formed, the world was run by kings, emperors, and tribal chiefs, okay? There was no democracy in the world. It's the first one, the oldest one. Well, first one, the Greeks, okay, I give them that. But I mean, we're the oldest democracy in the world today. And if it was not for the United States, we'd still maybe run by kings, queens, and tribal chiefs. Who knows? There really wasn't capitalism like we know it. There was more, there was a little bit of it, but not a lot of it. And the United States is not the problem with the world, it's the solution for it. And they're wiping us out on several fronts, the Democrats. There are 3 major invasions going on of the United States. 3. The southern invasion, that's where the largest in number is. I mean, that's just tens of millions of illegals coming here and and having children and getting set up. I mean, that's front 1 of the invasion of the United States. That's true. Front 2 is the Islamic invasion of the United States that Obama shepherded and started. Who knows how many Muslims Obama brought here, but there's an Islamic invasion of the United States, which is really insane that, in the post-9/11 world that we are in, we're being run by, the Democrat Party is being run by a very strong Islamic influence, and it's getting larger. I want you to think about it. We are... in September, it'll be 23 years since 9/11, right? 23 years since 9/11 in September. And the Democrat Party, which runs New York and has for a long time, although Giuliani was the mayor of them, but it's a Democrat town. If on September 12th, I told you that in 23 years from now, in 2024, at the Democrat convention in Chicago, the Democrats they would have to beg Muslim delegates for their support to nominate. You'd say, Brian, you're out of your mind. That's a stupid thing to say. The Muslims just attacked America with the largest loss of life in history. Remember, on September 12th, we thought 50,000 may have been dead. We didn't realize so many people got out of the World Trade Center. We didn't realize how many got out. But the loss on 9/11 was a greater loss of life than at the attack on Pearl Harbor by a few. And it was worse also not just in number, but at least Pearl Harbor was a military target, right? That was 100% civilian target. And now the people behind all of that are an important constituency of the Democrats to hold on to power. What the hell? It's crazy town. So there's now maybe I'm leaving one out. This is just off the top of my head, and I'm a little behind on my coffee, so I might be leaving one out that I'll add later. But I see a 3-front attack and invasion of the United States. The first one I said is the southern border. The second one is the Islamic invasion through the immigration process. What do you think the third one is? Now, I'm not going to troll for calls. I'm just going to tell you, what do you think the third one is? The third one's China. Okay, China. They have agents all over the place in this country. Waltz is one of them. Kamala Harris's husband is another one. Some of them are just bought and paid for, like Mitch McConnell. I mean, look at Mitch McConnell. He's one of the ugliest human beings alive. And he's married to Elaine Chao, who is not a bad-looking woman. She's average, but she comes from a very wealthy, politically connected Chinese family. How does a guy that looks like Jabba the Hutt marry an heiress from China? They bought him, just like the Bidens, right? So we've got the southern invasion, we've got the Islamic invasion of the country, and then China's going around recruiting and buying off American officials. There is a 3-front invasion and attack on this country. And it's all being done in cooperation with the Democrat Party. They're traitors. It's treason at every level. So, what most people are going to do today are play sound bites and then talk about them. I might play one or two, but these are not legitimate people to talk about. These are criminals. They've committed, many of them, treason. Many of them are on the take. And the Democrat Party is not a legitimate party. I'm not going to sit here and debate what AOC said. And by the way, did Ashley Biden look like she was high or something last night? I saw that in the news. She introduced her dad. She looked like, you know what she looked like? She looked like, I remember once Alec Baldwin, when he was married to Kim Basinger, they presented at the Academy Awards, and Kim Basinger was stoned out of her mind, and Alec Baldwin he went, oh my God, and he put his hand on his head. It was live on the Oscars. She looked a little bit like that with a mix of Marilyn Monroe. Totally, I mean, she just looked totally, my daddy, the 46th president. I mean, she looked out of it. And that look that Kamala gave her, women don't get along well together. There's some conflict there. But I'm not going to sit here and play sound bites and break it down and talk about the fallacies of their policies. These are people who were dedicated to bringing down the United States, or they're just a participant in it through some vice they have. So that's what I'm going to be talking about this morning. And this clip of Kamala is a beaut. I'll pull it up and play for you in the next segment. My name is Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Cue up this Kamala thing, and then I'll...
Are you feeling safe and secure in your home? Unfortunately, millions of Americans are vulnerable to break-ins every year. But what if you can have peace of mind knowing that your home is protected 24/7? At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security. That's why we're offering a free home security system with free professional installation. When you use our low-cost central station monitoring, our alarm systems are designed to detect intruders and alert authorities and give you real-time updates right to your smartphone. And with our state-of-the-art monitoring center, you'll have 24/7 protection from any threat. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your home and family and your valuables. Sloman's comprehensive.
Got this clip somewhere of Kamala. I'll find it. Oh, here it is.
And take very seriously. First, let me just say, I strongly believe and take very seriously that we must acknowledge that the government of the United States.
Towel set for just $25. The bed sheets, they're $25 too. The new My Pillow mattress topper as low as $69.98.
Oh, yeah.
Rest of your Tuesday morning. Try and have a good, safe rest of your Tuesday morning.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices.
Have a good, safe rest of your Tuesday morning.
On both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road. Because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone.
All right.
977-9445.
Now back to the Steve Kane
There you go.
Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Garrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Old.
All right, 20 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Before I get to this clip of Kamala, I want to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. You know, he has over 30 years of experience in the retirement and financial planning industry. He's a 5-time qualifying member of the $1 Million Roundtable, which is achieved by less than 1% of all financial advisors in the world. He's offering free copies of his book, The Retirement Know-It-All, which gives all his advice for retirees and pre-retirees. But he's also offering free phone consultations. And you can take advantage of the free phone consultation with Jupiter Joe Thomas no matter where you're located in America. Talk to him about annuities, how you can protect your money from stock market losses. Stop losing your hard-earned money. Keep it. And generate income when you're retired. Give him a call, 561-743-0999. If you're already retired, he can help you too. If you plan on retiring at any point in your life, whether it's this Friday or a Friday 30 years from now, he can help. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And online, JupiterJoe.com. Right? JupiterJoe.com. You can get his number there. Okay, so let me play this clip of Kamala. This is insane. This is from the last presidential campaign before she dropped out. This is crazy. When I came across this yesterday, I couldn't believe what she said. And this is just like 4 years ago. This isn't 30 years ago, 4 years ago, the last election cycle. Listen, Kamala Harris.
So let me just say, I strongly believe and take very seriously that we must acknowledge that the government of the United States stole land, took land from the tribes, and that there must be a restoration of that ownership for those lands that were possessed by the tribes. So that is a value I hold very dearly and very strongly.
The tribes known as the Indians. So she said that the United States government stole the land from the tribes. Guess you can't say Indians, from the Native American tribes, which is total BS, okay? And restitution must be made. I guess we got to give it back. First off, Indians didn't own land. They were nomadic, all right? But Kamala Harris said that the United States stole the land from the Indians, what she's saying is this. By the way, who's the original inhabitants of India? Is it the Indian people we have today? I don't know. It's in Asia. And Indians don't look Asian to me. At some point, I don't know the history, but at some point, non-Asian looking people migrated to the land that is now India. Do they have to give it back too, Kamala? But think about what she said here. The United States, this is what she said. The United States exists on occupied Indian land, she said. That's what she said. And we got to give it back. So, just 4 years ago she said that. Now she's running for president. So, a legitimate, if I had Kamala here on the show, I don't hold my breath, but if I had Kamala here on the show, there's a lot to ask her about, oh boy. But if she were here today, I would play that clip of her 4 years ago and ask Kamala if, when she becomes president in her fantasies, is she going to sign America over to the Indians? What does she mean by this? I mean, this is a very powerful statement she made here. Very bizarre.
So let me just say, I strongly believe and take very seriously that we must acknowledge that the government of the United States stole land, took land from the tribes, and that there must be restoration of that ownership for those lands that were possessed by the tribes. So that is a value I hold very dearly and very strongly.
Wow. So she wants to give the land of America back to the Indian tribes. Now, here's my question. You know, she didn't grow up in the United States. She grew up in Canada. We know this, right? Does Canada have to give their land back to their Indians? You know what they call Indians in Canada? They call them First Nation. Liberal idiots up there. They call them First Nation. Does Canada have to give back the land of Canada to the Indians? And, you know, all these illegals coming up from Mexico and Central and South America, they don't look like they're Aztecs or Mayans or Incas to me. They look like they're of European descent just like me. They just are from Europeans that aren't white, the Spaniards, maybe some Portuguese. So why are they not giving their land back? Why does Canada get to keep Canada? Mexico gets to keep Mexico. And all these third world pits of hell in Central and South America get to keep their hellholes, but the United States has to give everything back to the Indians. Why is it just us? I don't get that. What an idiotic thing to say. You see what I mean about the Democrats? These are not legitimate people that have a legitimate political philosophy or idea for this country. The Democrat Party, at their Democrat convention, they want to destroy this country. And they're doing it on all kinds of ways. Now, I'm assuming she's speaking to Indians there because there was some, I didn't hear that, but I heard some applause when she said that. Now, first off, how would you even, if we were going to do that, which is stupid and would never happen, but how would you determine who's really an Indian and what land they're entitled to? And by the way, Indians are not victims. Any of you, does anyone know, I don't know how much it is now. Does anyone know how much each member of the Seminole Indian tribe of Florida get each month from the casinos and the smoke shops? And if you want to talk about restitution, I want some restitution. If we're going to do this, reparations, restitution. By the way, when you give America away and you take everything, who's going to pay for all your crap, by the way, Democrat? I say the Indians owe us restitution and the world restitution because the Indians introduced tobacco to the world. Tobacco is an indigenous crop of America. How many people have died because of tobacco-related illnesses since the days of the early explorers? Do they owe us restitution for all that? Maybe. I don't know. If they're all about reparations and restitution and assigning blame. Very addictive drug. Tobacco is an addictive drug. You know, I'm the only person in my family that never smoked. My parents and grandparents all smoked like chimneys. My mother doesn't smoke now, but all my family, they smoked their whole lives. Cigarettes killed my grandma. You know, and I remember my grandmother who died from cancer she got from smoking. My whole life, remembering my grandmother, she was always trying to kick smoking, but it's an addictive drug. Especially when my grandmother started. They didn't have all the regulations now, so there was more nicotine in it. You know, the Indians introduced this deadly weed of tobacco, one of the most addictive drugs on the planet to the world, and have killed, I don't know how many people since the 1400s have died from tobacco. Does anyone know? Can you put it, is it 1 billion? So where's their restitution? They owe us, I must say. Maybe they do. But Kamala says she wants to give America back to the Indians. It's stolen land. So here she is at the Democrat convention. I'd love to play that for her and ask, when you become president, are you going to sign over America to the Indians, like you talked about 4 years ago? I'd like to see what she says. I doubt we'd have her here, not just because, you know, she doesn't want questions, but if the rumors of her being a wino are true, I don't think she'd be able to be here at 6:29 in the morning and have a conversation, but I'd be interested in asking her that. All right, we'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Marone from the All Year Cooling Weather Center. Today is Tuesday, August 20th, 2024, and right now it's 78 degrees outside. As we go throughout the day, though, temperatures are going to reach as high as 92 degrees with a heat advisory in effect until 6 p.m. tonight. There are chances of rain in the afternoon hours, so make sure you keep an umbrella close by, stay cool, stay dry, and have a good, safe rest of your Tuesday morning.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling.
Hey guys, I just put a link pinned to the top of the chat, earthyco.shop. It is our sponsor of today's program, earthyco.shop. If you're not in the live chat, earthyco.shop. And if you're like me, if you're one of the 75% of people in our country that are deficient in magnesium, and magnesium deficiencies cause all kinds of problems, fatigue, loss of appetite, but mainly fatigue. And they have an incredible, earthyco.shop, they have an incredible magnesium supplement that you actually just spray on your skin. You just spray it, rub it in, and boom. Your magnesium deficiency is ended. So click that link or go to earthyco.shop and get your spray magnesium, earthyco.shop. I pinned the link to the top of the chat. earthyco.shop, they're today's sponsor.
Screens, exceptional dining, and full bar. This Sunday, don't miss PBKC's Sports Car Memorabilia Show with great vendors, door prizes, free admission, and more. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Hi, True Oldies listeners. Jupiter Joe here. Ask yourself, do I have a guaranteed...
Oh boy, guys, I tell you. It's one of those days. I'm just disgusted by these Democrats.
Oh boy, guys, I tell you.
Just disgusted by these Democrats. I mean, what do you guys think about? Oh yeah, and by the way, the earthyco.shop magnesium spray is all natural. Yeah, they got to get six figures these days. I don't know. Let me look it up.
On the radio, 561-320-8893, 561-320-8893.
Hi, this is Maureen Cohen from Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens. We're so excited to be celebrating 50 years here in South Florida. The Cohen family started their first health food store in 1972, and ever since have been one of the largest locally owned family-run health food stores in the area. We carry thousands of supplements like vitamins, minerals, herbs, homeopathics, diet and fitness, and so much more. All your favorite top quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic, as well as health and beauty aids, pet foods, and more. Visit Vanessa, Trish, Denson, Scott, and Bruce. They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the northeast corner of PGA Boulevard and Prosperity Farms Road in the Carmine's Market Plaza by the Prosperity entrance. You can call us or text us anytime at 561-626-4377, 626-4377, or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World, Palm Beach Gardens.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration.
I am pleased to say our relationship with the Steve Kane Show and the show's listeners.
Hey, Mike, do you know the name of that casino that the Miccosukee Indians have in Miami? The big Indian casino in Miami?
They are courteous.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. I'm trying to think of the name of it.
and
I don't need to know.
enjoy
I
the
just
work.
if you don't have to look it up, it's okay. I was trying to remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of
From
it.
repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches. With great success, and every one of those customers are like family. We have installed all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingles, clay, and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. So come on, and let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602.
Coming back.
Find us on the web at laportacontracting.com.
5 seconds.
The number again is 954-604-4602.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
First, let me just say, I strongly believe and take very seriously that we must acknowledge that the government of the United States took land from the tribes, and that there must be a restoration of that ownership for those lands that were possessed.
Okay, I know why she says tribes, because she's Indian, not black. All this talk, is she black or Indian? She's Indian. She doesn't want to call Native Americans Indians, Native American Indians or anything, because she's a real Indian. Okay, so Kamala 4 years ago, she's talking to a group that I can't see, so I'm assuming they're Indians, because they like this idea. She said that we got to give America back to the Indians. And I was talking about how the Seminole Indians are they're rich. I looked up during the break how much they get. The most recent number I could find was from 3 years ago. And 3 years ago, each member of the Seminole tribe of Florida, God bless them, $7,000 a month. That goes for the children. And if they live on the res, no taxes. No income tax if they live on the reservation. Now, if I'm getting $7,000 a month just for being an Indian every month for life, and I'm sure it goes up, and maybe it's more now, I'm probably going to move to Parkland and pay the taxes on it. Although, no, the res is probably pretty nice these days. I don't know. $7,000 a month, that's of 3 years ago. Now, some may say, well, but the Seminoles, not all tribes are that way. Yeah, some Indians are smarter than some Indians. You know, we have another group of Indians here in Florida that are rich too, the Miccosukee. Oh, the Miccosukee Indian tribe, they're absolutely amazingly smart. Do you know what they did to get a casino? You know, the Seminole Indians, remember I told you yesterday, the only Indian nation to not sign the peace treaty, but they were a recognized tribe, okay? The Miccosukee Indians, though, and they were not a recognized tribe until Nixon was president. And the Miccosukee wanted to get recognized so they could get rich like the Seminoles. Now, what the Seminoles had back then, I don't know, they weren't so big into the casino business as they are now. They've always, as long as I've been in South Florida, the Seminoles have always had a casino, but it used to be a tiny little place filled with lots of smoke. Now it's like it's like Vegas. You ever see that Biff Tannen guitar-shaped hotel they have now? I cannot believe they were allowed to build that thing so close to the airport. But the Miccosukee, before they had all these big casinos, they were selling cigarettes like crazy. And if you went by any of the drive-through smoke shops that the Seminoles had, like in the 80s and the 70s, the lines were always around the block because you got the cigarettes really cheap because they didn't have the federal tax on them. So the Miccosukee wanted to get rich like the Indians, but they weren't a recognized tribe. And if you're a recognized tribe, you're your own nation, right? So they wanted to have smoke shops and a casino too, but they weren't a recognized tribe. So do you know what they did? They're very smart Indians, the Miccosukee Indians. And when you say, well, not everybody's rich like the Seminoles, well, some tribes just aren't as smart. The Miccosukees, they couldn't get their smoke shops or casinos because not being a recognized tribe, they couldn't have their own indigenous nation down there, right, in Miami. So what they did, this is when Nixon was president. I don't know exactly what year this was. I can't remember. I hadn't thought about this in a long time. All the tribal leaders got dressed up in all their rain dance clothes, like in the movies, headdresses and moccasins and stuff. And they flew to Havana, Cuba, and were greeted by Fidel Castro. And Fidel Castro recognized them as a tribe, and then that led to them getting recognized, and now they got that casino I always hear them talking about on IOD with Manny, who I don't know how Manny got on the air. But anyway, so don't cry for the Indians. The Indians got it going on, okay? But back to what we're talking about here. I don't want to get sidetracked too much. The entire Democrat Party's convention, which I am not watching any of it. If something newsworthy happens, I'll see the soundbite on Twitter, on television, somewhere, and I'll pull it and talk about it. And I do have a clip or two that I might play today. But I'm not going to sit here and listen to a bunch of people who are trying to bring down the country and destroy it. Because that's what they want to do. So when Kamala says that the United States has to give back our land to the Indians, but Latin America doesn't have to give their land back to the Indians. They're European too. Canada doesn't have to. Just us. Now, it'd be one thing if there was this big movement that the North and South American nations all must give their land back to the Indians, which I would, I wouldn't agree with that either. But it's just isolated to us, and Canada's even bigger than us. Canada's a lot bigger than us. So Canada, by Kamala Harris's theory, the country she grew up, actually is occupying more Indian territory than we are because they're a bigger country. So why is it us? Because we got all the money. The United States is the largest economy in the world. Okay? We're the largest economy in the world. That's why they want all our crap, because we got all the money. Now, Kamala Harris, though, she has a dual conflict. She's not just a hate America first person that wants to bring down this country. She's got a couple things going on. Mainly, she's a Marxist. They keep saying her father was a Marxist. That is true, but so was her mother. Marxists don't marry non-Marxists. Both of them were Berkeley College professors, and then her mom got the teaching job in Canada, which is a socialist country. So Kamala Harris was raised by two Marxists. So her worldview is of that of a communist. So, yeah, that's the reality. So why is she married to this white guy, this dorky white guy? I saw him yesterday rehearsing, coming out on stage. Did you see him coming out? He was, you know what he looked like when he walked out on stage, Doug Emhoff? This was during the rehearsal. He was sashaying on the stage. You know what he looked like? He looked like Nathan Lane and Robin Williams in the Birdcage that they filmed in Miami walking around. I couldn't believe this guy, Doug Emhoff. I was very surprised. He was walking around like, hey, and it was very strange. It looked like he was rehearsing for a drag show, okay? Doug Emhoff is one of the Democrats that's been bought off by one of the forces attacking America, China. Remember, I've been talking the last couple of weeks. Kamala, if you're on hold, stand by. I'll start getting to the calls in a bit. I got a lot to get off my chest. I know people have been calling, they've been hanging up. I'm sorry, I got a lot to get off my chest today because this Democrat convention's got to be exposed in its proper light, and it's not. Doug Emhoff's company, I've been talking about it for 2 or 3 weeks. It's a front company for the CCP. He has partnered with the CCP. He has some type of consulting company, and he has CCP senior people that work for his company. Now, of course, he's not openly connected to it anymore because his wife is the vice president, and they have to divest BS. Kamala Harris and her husband, that is not a real marriage. Which obviously is, she's childless, and if you saw him walk out on stage, you'd say, what? But it is not a real marriage. It is a marriage that is a pairing of two people. One from China paired with this Marxist woman to cause damage. And the fact that they're from California, China is, their base of operations in this country has been California for a long time because they can blend in. There's a large Asian population in California, and most of the Democrats are compromised by the CCP there. Now they're making their way into Washington now, of course, obviously, and have been through the Bidens and others and Mitch McConnell. It's not exclusively Democrats, but it's mostly Democrats. So Kamala Harris is a true believing Marxist. She's married to a man who has been bought by the Chinese, and her running mate is a devout Chinese communist. I got a new story on him that I'm going to share with you after the break. Okay? That's why she picked him. I think the Chinese had her pick him. I've been talking about this. I think even losing, he will be elevated nationally. He's now a nationally known guy, Waltz, and he can help the CCP accomplish their goal of making America a third world country. All right? So we'll take our last break of the first hour. Our number, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631, and be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Ryan. I just want to say thank you for Dr. Appleton because I'm from Orlando. It took 3 hours to go down there. It took my 90-year-old mom. My mom walked straighter than she ever walked in her life. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being such a willing vessel to talk about Dr. Appleton.
That's amazing. So you heard me in Orlando talking about Dr. Appleton and drove to South Florida with your mother to see him.
Yeah, my mom is awesome now. Awesome. No more arthritis, no more pills, none of that. She's going back to New York. She sits on the train for 24 hours. And I'm telling you, no pain. She gets off that train, and my sister says she walks like a young woman.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Call Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain, too. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com. Hey, everyone. Brian Craig here. You asked Mike Lindell, and he listened. Mike's offering the queen-size MyPillow for just $19.98 with our promo code KANE, KANE.com. Plus, you could get the 6-piece MyPillow towel set for just $25. The bed sheets, they're $25 too. The new MyPillow mattress topper as low as $69.98. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our promo code KANE for these huge discounts. You can also order by phone. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, KANE at MyPillow.com.
Are you exhausted after work with no energy left in the tank to give your family? Are you having a midday crash on a daily basis? Women, are menopause symptoms like hot...
Sorry, guys, I haven't been getting to the phones, but I gotta get some of this stuff out. I think it's important. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but I think it's important.
And relationships suffering because of disappointments in the bedroom? Then take action and let our medical team at Lighthouse Medical Center help you stop the symptoms that are holding you back. We use all natural hormone optimization therapies with precision technology to help solve your problematic symptoms. Our family practice has had the honor of serving our South Florida community for over 71 years. Call us right now and let our medical team get you optimized and feeling the way that you should. Life is too short to be running at less than 100%.
All right, we'll be back in 10 seconds.
The best version of you. Call us at 754-222-6642 or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com to schedule your consultation today.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, 48 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I want to add on to the recorded message from MyPillow. Remember, free shipping on orders over $75 with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. And one of my nephews is off to college, and I was talking about this last week. Grandparents were saying, well, what can we get him? What can we get him? He's got everything. And my wife and I, we said, get him MyPillow mattress topper for the dorm room bed. The mattresses in the dorms are made out of concrete slabs. So if you got a kid heading off to college, get them a MyPillow mattress topper. There's several different kinds. They're all discounted with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. They come in every mattress size, and they will love them. Okay, I don't know anyone that my wife and I have given mattress toppers to, or pillows to, or the sheets to, or the towels to. They don't tell us how much they love them every time we talk to them. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at mypillow.com. So, see, the Democrats at their convention, which I am not watching. I'm not going to watch that garbage. The Democrats fit into several different groups of people. Here's the main types of Democrats, okay? Because there's something in play. Oh, but let me share the Tim Waltz story first, then I'll get to that. Because something has happened with the Democrat Party this week that I want to get to. This is available on the Substack of Peter Dabroska. He's an investigative journalist. And he found a news clipping and photograph of Tim Waltz on a cultural exchange trip to China with a Chinaman that's on the CIA watch list. It's from 1986. Okay? And this guy's been doing a lot of reporting on Ted Waltz and his China ties. And I'll just read the article, and it's written, this is his Substack, it's written from his perspective, the reporter. In the wake of my exclusive reporting that Vice Presidential nominee Tim Waltz had a friend in the Chinese government's Foreign Affairs Department who helped him organize his cultural exchange trips to China, I can reveal today that one of his Chinese contacts was on the CIA's watch list of individuals who hold important positions in the People's Republic of China. The list was compiled by the CIA in 1986, and thanks to a Freedom of Information request, it's now public record. And they have a photo of Tim Waltz with this, and I can't pronounce the names of the Chinese guys. He's with some young men that he took there with these CCP CIA watch list guys. This guy has at some point in his life, I don't know exactly when, it'll come out, at some point in his life, Tim Waltz was recruited by the Chinese. He's not wealthy, he doesn't even own a house. But, I'll make another movie reference. I mean, he's like Kevin Costner in No Way Out. I mean, he's a sleeper agent, is what he is. Or like that couple in the Americas, except he wasn't born there. At some point, the Chinese recruited Tim Waltz, and he is a Chinese asset in this country. He may even be getting security briefings now. After the convention, he may start getting some mild security briefings. They start doing that after the nomination. She's a Marxist. Her husband is bought and paid for by the CCP, Doug Emhoff. And Tim Waltz is a true believing Chinese Communist Party supporter. Think that's just a coincidence? Of course it's not. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Oh, maybe I should... Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is Jack. I have great news. Donald Trump has supporter, and that...
Oh, my gosh. Are you the guy that thinks that Trump wasn't shot? No. Okay, you sound like him a little bit. I'm just trying to figure out what part of that fit. I appreciate the call. Open phones is Friday. Sorry to be strict about that, but, you know, it wasn't even funny. I mean, that wasn't even funny. I'll get to some calls after the top of the hour. Let me finish my thoughts here. And after the top of the hour, something has happened with the Democrats that I'm going to share with you after that. I mean, you know, the reason I'm doing this today is when I started doing my show prep this morning, everybody in the media are playing clips from the convention and, like, analyzing them like these are legitimate people. And I'm here to tell you that there wasn't a single speaker there that's a legitimate person, okay, that has a legitimate political ideology for this country. I'm not going to sit here and talk about the new accent that AOC had. I mean, if I'm going to do stuff like that, I might as well talk to that idiot about Taylor Swift and the Swifties for Trump or whatever. That's called killing time. Call Joyce Kaufman. She's desperate for calls. She never has them. They may not even have a phone connected to that show anymore. Well, it's really kind of a waste of money because it doesn't get used. At least not by listeners calling. The Democrat Party convention, okay? The way to look at the DNC convention is this. The way I've always talked about this, I've used this example many times over the years, although I haven't talked about this for a while because they've been so irrelevant, but, we'll talk about it. The DNC is like the United Nations. It's a collection of losers and freaks for the most part that all hate each other but have come together in this organization to have some relevancy. And the Democrat convention is mostly made up of about 3 different types of people. And I'll tell you who they are. The first group, which is the leadership, is like Biden and the Pelosi's and the Clinton types, okay? These are people, and I'm not saying just them, but I'm talking about the different types of Democrats at the convention. The first type are like the Bidens and the Pelosi's and the Clintons. They don't care about anything. They don't care about climate change, abortion, taxes. All they care about is making money for themselves and their families. They're all corrupt, financially corrupt. And if being pro-life got them rich, they'd be pro-life. If being for oil drilling got them rich, they'd be for oil drilling. All they care about is profit. That's the Pelosi's, the Biden, and the Hillary, Bill Clinton types of Democrats. That's one. Okay. Next group of people in the Democrat Party are your rejects and weirdos that couldn't get boyfriends or girlfriends in school, and they're very frustrated in their life and very angry. Many of them used to be goth and stuff like this when they were in school. And now they're Democrats. They're in Congress. Like that idiot, that girl, the childless cat lady that held up Project 2025, at the convention. I saw the clip online. I didn't watch the convention. So you got a bunch of rejects that find a sense of belonging in the Democrat Party, but they hate the country because they've been rejected by it. Okay? Then you have a lot of people that are mostly minorities of different types that are radical blacks, radical Hispanics, and others who think that the only problem on the entire planet is the United States and want the United States wiped out. So like the Hispanics, where we're being invaded by the Hispanics, they used to have a group, La Raza. I'm sure they're around, but they've rebranded a little bit. And La Raza, which was a very important group in the Democrat Party, used to have a map that showed the entire southwest of the United States as Mexico, okay? And they used to be at the Democrat convention. So you have this group of Democrats, and many of them spoke last night, whose sole purpose is the destruction of the United States. If they think that if the United States did not exist, okay, there would be no problems in the world. The world would be a utopia. Now, they're very short-sighted and stupid, but those are the main 3 groups of people in the DNC convention that you see speaking, okay? The freakier they are, the earlier in the week they speak. As you get closer to the end, because more people are watching, they try to get more reasonable people there. But something has happened with the Democrats, which I'm going to share with you after the top of the hour break. And no one has picked up on what's going on here. And I just cannot get myself to play sound bites of Biden or AOC or talk about that ridiculous dress that Jill wore like everybody else is doing today. I just can't do it. There's a bigger thing going on here, and I'm going to share it with you after the top of the hour. I will take calls, but can we elevate them from that last guy that called, please? I know some of you have been calling and hanging up. That's fine. Well, I'll take your calls. You're welcome to call in. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I do want to tell you guys this, though. When this convention is over, The divisions at the convention are at a level we have never seen before at the Democratic convention. This is not like 1968. They are more divided now than in 1968. You hear all these 1968 references. I'm not going to get into that. It's very complex. I wasn't even alive. I think most of the people that keep referencing it, like me, weren't alive. But the divisions inside the Democrat Party are bigger than they were in 1968. The 1968 thing was a division over the war in Vietnam because the draft age guys didn't want to get drafted. I don't blame them. It was a draft conflict, okay, more than anything else. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number 1-888-465-2631. Back after this.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and her in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show.
How's it going?
From the all-year cooling
Early
weather
today?
center.
Yeah, the battery backup of the transmitter blew out yesterday.
Oh.
So I got to place to repair it is in Pompano and they open at 8.
And I gotta be right there.
So I'm gonna
Be in the
taking
parking lot.
his backup to leave me running for a little bit, just in case while I run.
You're the only owner I know that works on transmitters. I've never heard of that's me. No, it's not.
I don't know if that's an accolade that I'm...
No, well, you know. It's true though. Do you know, all your time, have you known an owner that went to a transmitter site?
AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
All right, guys, hang in there.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC's comedy and dinner show
Donald?
is coming soon with amazing
Where?
events live in the paddock. Make plans for the practice
That's our cone.
on Friday, August 23rd. The Pure Zeppelin Experience October 11th. Let It Be November 8th. Jimmy Fallon November 15th and 16th, and more. The paddock is an ultimate dining, events, and sports experience. For more info and show tickets, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Are you feeling safe and secure in your home? Unfortunately, millions of Americans are vulnerable to break-ins every year. But what if you can have peace of mind knowing that your home is protected 24/7? At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security. That's why we're offering a free home security system with free professional installation. When you use our low-cost central station monitoring, our top-of-the-line systems are designed to detect intruders and alert authorities and give you real-time updates right to your smartphone. And with our state-of-the-art monitoring center, you'll have 24/7
Okay, where did I put that?
any threat. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your home and family and your valuables with Sloman's comprehensive home security solutions. Call 1-833-283-5050 today to schedule your free installation and start sleeping better tonight. Sloman's, protecting what matters most. Call 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050 now. At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security.
Hi, it's Brian Craig. Let me ask you this. Are you planning on retiring in the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, at any point in your life? Or are you already retired? Listen, economically, it's a mess with the stock market ups and downs and inflation out of control. In fact, it's the highest inflation rate in 40 years. You need a plan of action for your retirement plans. You need the advice of a retirement expert who can help you protect your money, guarantee your income, and stop losing money. Joe Thomas is president of Retirement Network Advisors, South Florida's premier retirement experts, and has been for over 20 years. He's seen it all and is a true professional that you can trust. They're family-owned and operated. His daughter Jenny works with him. You know Joe and Jenny from right here on True Oldies. He's the host of the Jupiter Joe Money Show, and he's been doing that for over a decade. You need Jupiter Joe's book, The Retirement Know-It-All. Mention my name, Brian Craig, and receive a free copy of his ebook. Go to jupiterjoe.com or call 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. Take advantage of his free phone consultation, too. Go to jupiterjoe.com or call 561-743-0999. When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now.
All right, Brian.
All right.
On the cell if you need it.
Okay, cool. Take care.
There's lots of any lab tests.
That's the owner of the station.
Advertising on our radio station, so don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs, and make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
All right, here we go, guys.
Since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, hour number 2 has begun. Now, there's been a big happening at the DNC that no one has picked up on but me. That's true. It's not just self-promotion, okay? I'll tell you what it is in a minute. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Monica Seven.
Oh, hey, Doug.
And then, did you happen to notice what? I turned it on about 9 o'clock to see what's going on over there. You see what they did? They have a row that will hold like 50 people, but they space out 20 people to make the place look like it's crowded. Because when they show from afar, it looks like it's packed. But close up, all the people that bust in, I guess, weren't as many as they wanted. So they.
I don't know. That's the least of their problems. That's the least of the problems is the seat spading, the seat spading.
You know,
I can't even say it. The seat spacing. It's hard for me to say.
anyhow, as I was watching on CNN, I put it on, and the guy saying, "Oh, she has a better chance of winning than Biden." Really, of course, because everybody hated Biden, and everybody hates her, but less.
Winning what? Winning what? All right, hey Doug, I appreciate the call. Okay, not much to say today, Doug, but I do like Doug. Okay, so what's going on? So there's a happening at the DNC, and if you noticed, since Friday. Oh, I want to mention one thing unrelated to the DNC because I meant to bring this up yesterday and I forgot. Remember how last Friday there was, for the first time that I've ever heard, a mechanical issue on Trump Force One? Remember this? When Trump was flying to the rally in Montana, there was a hydraulics issue. They had to do a U-turn, land at an alternate airport. And coincidentally, the only plane there was a plane that was once owned by Jeffrey Epstein that he took to the rally. Okay, whatever. And I was talking about at the time, do you think that was sabotage? And I do believe it was another assassination attempt, and many of you laughed at me for that. But Trump Force One had to make an unscheduled emergency landing last Friday. Well, did you see what happened this Friday? Trump Force 2. Trump Force 2, that's what J.D. Vance's plane is called. It's small and not as nice. Trump Force 2 is what it's called. J.D. Vance's plane on Friday had to make an emergency landing. It took off and had to immediately return and make an emergency landing. The seal on the main door of the aircraft malfunctioned in flight. Now, I know people will say, oh, this happens all the time. Really? How many of you have been on a commercial flight that had to make an emergency landing? How many of you? I'm sure there's somebody out there. But how many of you? What are the odds that 2 Fridays in a row, 1 week apart, Trump's plane has a mechanical malfunction and J.D. Vance's does a week to the day and has to make another emergency landing? Now, they fixed the seal on the door and it took back off. But too coincidental to me, especially since 5-6 weeks ago they shot President Trump, okay? And next month they're trying to put him in prison. So, I'm sorry. I don't believe in coincidences. I don't. Now, I had one incident on a plane like 40 years ago, okay? And I'm sure I could fill up the phones with people that'll tell me about problems they had. It's very rare. And to have the top and bottom of the ticket a week apart, especially after they shot him. There were 2 assassination attempts that were confirmed on President Trump in the last 6 weeks. Right? The dim donor in Pennsylvania and that Pakistani guy they got. Okay? Then the plane. And then JD's. So, I'm sorry. It's just, I don't believe in coincidences on that. Something is up with that. Okay, so back to the Democrats and the Democrat convention. Since Friday, we have been overloaded with things that are very, very damaging to Kamala Harris. Right? I've played a lot of them on the air. That one I just played for you in the last hour where she wants to give America back to the Indians. She said the tribes because she's an Indian and she doesn't want people to think she's talking about the Gandhi Indians, you know. But, and I don't say that in a negative way. I just want, you know, there's American Indians and then there's Indians from India. You know. So, the other clip I played yesterday where she says with the stroke of her pen she can end your life and arrest you and charge you with crimes and send you to jail, that one. She wants to steal the patents from companies and take them. And with the stroke of a pen, she'll do it. And there were a few others. And these very damaging things came out about Kamala after her introduction of her economic speech on Friday, which was her big policy speech with the Soviet Union-style economic system of nationalizing the entire food process system from the farm to the grocery store. Okay? So, you know, and then all this stuff came out. Have you ever wondered where all this came from? Where did all this stuff come from? It didn't come from the Trump organization, I don't think, because it didn't come, you know, Trump's back to posting on X, on Twitter, which is nice. I'm glad he's doing that. But Trump didn't post this stuff first. Laura Loomer, who I believe is working for the Trump organization, I haven't asked her because I know she'll deny it, plausible deniability and all that stuff. But it didn't get released through Loomer. All these things I'm sharing with you, what's the original source for any of them? We don't know, do we? They just are magically appearing all over social media. They're all sound bites, they're all video, they're all edited the same way, so the same people did all of them. You can tell by the format they're in, but no one's taken credit for it. And people that break news that do these things want to take credit for it so that they get more views, hits, and clicks on whatever platform they're on, whether it's their article or their social media, okay? So all these things have come out. We don't know where any of them came from on Kamala. I believe forces inside the Democrat Party itself are doing this to bring her down. A lot of people are talking about the civil war in the Democrat Party, and they talk about these Palestinian terrorist supporters, and that's a part of it. But there are forces in the Democrat Party doing this, and let me share with you exactly what I'm talking about. And I picked this up on CNN. I've got John King. You know, first off, well, I want to take the break on time because I want to play these 2 clips from CNN and have time to talk about them. So I'm going to take the break on time. So we'll take our break, we'll come back, and then I'll share with you what's going on here. All right. Our number 1-888-465-2631. I'd like to elevate. I've taken 2 calls. They both suck today. Okay, so you know, I'd like to elevate the quality of the calls if we could a little bit, or I'll just keep on talking till 9. I don't care. We'll do whichever. But I'll get to what's going on, and I'll share with you these clips from CNN and tell you what I believe is going on right after this break.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. The Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-K1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Shannon on the radio with a quick reminder that if you like music by the Stones, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, the Four Seasons, and all those big hits...
Corey Orlando says, I was just an a-hole to Doug. Corey, I'm talking about some serious stuff for over an hour. I take his call, and he's talking about the spaces between the seats at the convention. What am I supposed to do? Stop this important, serious conversation and talk about the space between the seats? Come on. What would you do in my situation? This is okay.
About my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside, everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
The Treasure Coast on 69 FM. Hear us in Boca on 95. Fort Lauderdale on 96 FM. And anywhere in the world at True.
Alrighty, 18 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Just in addition to my recorded message with Tom Laporta, I want to say two things about Tom Laporta that are very important that I didn't have time for in the recorded commercial. One is this. Tom Laporta is not just a roofer, he's also a contractor, which under Florida law allows him to deal directly with your insurance company on the cost of your repair or roof replacement. That's very important. You know, your insurance company, they just want you to settle for as little money as possible, and it may not be enough money. And then people go out and hire public adjusters, some even attorneys. I hired an adjuster once, years ago. It took him a year. I got the money, but I had to give the adjuster 20%. So I had to come up with 20% of the cost to get the thing done. Tom Laporta, you do away with the middleman. You don't have to do all that, right? So it's good. Other thing is he has an expertise in dealing with HOAs. So if you have a homeowners association, well, if you live in Florida, you have a homeowners association. They all suck. I hate mine. I was trying to put up a fence. Oh, my goodness. So I ended up putting up a hedge. Looks better anyway than the fence. But anyway, Tom Laporta has an expertise on dealing with homeowners associations. Steve was amazing. His HOA hates him. They're liberal Democrats. They hate him. And when Steve got his new roof, he got a roof unlike anybody else in his whole development is what he wanted. And they didn't want to let him do it. And Tom Laporta was able to get the homeowners association to agree to have a roof unlike anyone else in the whole community that they hated Steve have what he had. So he does amazing work with HOAs. I call him the Alan Dershowitz of HOAs. He's a very good advocate for you. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. That's 954-604-4602. Okay, so this freak show of a party they have with the freaks and geeks at the DNC convention all week. A bunch of childless cat ladies, terrorist supporters. The list goes on and on. I mean, I could just go on. It's just a weird collection of people. The Democrat Party is in big trouble. So I saw on CNN John King. John King, he is the ex-husband of Dana Bash, and they still work together. They have a kid together. But I often tell you, CNN is the CIA. How do you think they got all these bureaus all over the world when they were just starting out? Those are CIA stations, okay? And Dana Bash's other husband that she got the Bash name from is a senior CIA guy, Anderson Cooper, CIA. And CNN is used by the deep state to push their agenda through. That's it. Okay? I mean, I don't even think that's an opinion. I believe that is a fact. So John King, who is one of their operatives over there, did a very strange pro-Trump story where he interviewed women that hate Trump but are voting for him. And it's a sympathetic story. Here's the first one.
Sarcone plans to vote for Trump is a big change. She backed Haley in the caucuses, and when we first met a year ago, Sarcone said she would vote for Biden if 2024 ended up as a 2020 rematch. But grocery prices are still high, she says, and her real estate business is slow.
I would describe myself as being resigned, I suppose, to voting for Donald Trump. Again, I can't vote for the status quo, and I was absolutely better off during Donald Trump's presidency than I am today.
Right, I say Kamala Harris, you say.
I'd say far left. I'd say woke. I'd say sidestepping. I'd say not truthful.
Okay, so, and there's a second woman. So this woman here, they've been following her. She's an Iowa voter, so they talked to her during the Iowa caucuses. She voted for Nikki Haley, but said in the general election she would vote for Joe Biden. But now she's voting for Donald Trump. CNN has her on. And what do they cite her for? Because of grocery prices. She's the new walk-away movement. The walk-away movement is being featured on CNN. And she is voting for Donald Trump, who she can't stand. She thinks he's all these things. But she's doing it out of survival for herself and her family because she can't afford food. So, now, then John King, he leaves her and he goes and talks to another woman.
I see Kamala and I see Waltz as being so far left that it concerns me.
I'm comfortable with Trump. We had 4 years of Trump. We know what Trump is. I'm not voting for him to be my Valentine. I'm not voting for him to be my best friend. But I seek.
Okay, so that CNN's the same story. So here they have another woman who hates Trump. She thinks he's a terrible person. But we know Trump, she says. And what does she mean by that? We weren't hungry. We could afford things. Another woman, both of them women, and they look to be those suburban moms. The second woman, they interviewed her at her kid's baseball diamond. He was at practice. The first woman, I don't know, they interviewed her in looked like a restaurant or a store or something. But they have, if you watch the mainstream media, they're always talking about suburban women. These are two suburban women, suburban white women. They hate Trump. They're lifelong Democrats. They've openly in the past said they were going to vote for Biden and other Democrats, not Trump because they hate him. And here they are struggling to survive and support their families, so they're voting for Trump, even though they hate him. So what's CNN's doing here? They're helping Trump, right? Absolutely. And they're doing it in a very sophisticated way. What this story is about is letting women know, hey, Trump's this, he's that, grab him by the this, and all this stuff. But it's okay to vote for him. It's the right thing to do to support your family, feed your kids. CNN does a story letting Democrat women, suburban moms, and mothers know that even though Trump is all these things that are terrible, behind J6, a racist, all this stuff, it's okay to vote for him. It's what you got to do so you can feed your family. That's CNN John King. That's what that story is. So why is CNN doing that? No, I'm not going to troll for calls and fill up the phones for half an hour and have everybody guess and tell everybody they got it wrong and then at the end of the show tell you the reason. I'm just going to tell you. I hate when people do. That's called killing time on the air. I love when I listen to people do that, and then you know somebody gets the answer right, and they say no because they don't want it to end. Sometimes like the first person. It's like that episode of WKRP where they edited the songs together. You guys ever see that, Mike? No. Oh, Mike probably never saw it. You ever see WKRP in Cincinnati? You think so? Yeah, it's good. It's a good show. So why is CNN doing this? Telling lifelong Trump-hating liberal women who believe in abortion on demand and all this stuff to vote for Donald Trump. It's okay, CNN's John King is saying. And the women they chose were very interesting women. They were both white women, both suburban women, but two different types of women. Okay? Which I'm not going to get into that. But they, you know. What CNN is doing for the deep state, as crazy as this sounds, the deep state through CNN is working to bring Trump back to the presidency. You know, there was a guy that called in towards the end of the show yesterday from Coconut Creek who was like clinically depressed. Him and Steve. Oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, we're going to lose. I got no worry in the world. And this story that I just shared with you is one of the reasons I don't have a worry in the world. Because CNN, the deep state, the deep state that's been after Trump, brought down Biden. They got him to drop out. Remember, CNN's the one that really, it's not Pelosi. CNN put the screws, okay, to Biden. They did the debate with Trump. They protected Trump. They did the debate properly. They did that debate to get Biden out. And then they did a lot of programming to push Biden out. Fake Tapper and Dana Bash brought down Biden, not Pelosi, not Obama. I know Pelosi took credit for it last night at the convention. I did what I had to do. You know, no, CNN, the deep state brought down Biden. This is what the deep state at CNN are trying to do. The Democrat Party has been taken over by the CCP, okay, and Islamic terrorist supporters. And the deep state wants the Democrats to lose big, so they can cleanse the Democrat Party of these Muslim terrorist sympathizers and supporters, and some of them may even be Islamic terrorists, and as much of the CCP as they possibly can and get control of the party again. They're trying to do a party cleanse, kind of like a colon cleanse, but they're trying to cleanse themselves of these very destructive people inside the Democrat Party. Look at the squad. How many squad members have been lost now? 2? You think that just happened? No. So that's what's in play here. And I know this seems very sophisticated. I know it may seem crazy. Some of you may think what I'm doing is wishful thinking. But no, I think that's really what is going on. All right. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. Our number 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call, no matter where you're listening to us. 888-465-2631. I got a text message from a friend of mine saying that Joyce Kaufman doesn't get calls, and I don't know if they have a phone connected to that studio anymore. He said, be fair, Joyce Kaufman does occasionally get the telemarketer wrong number call to the show. Oh, yeah, okay. I stand corrected. There have been apparently some wrong numbers, so that would confirm that they do have a phone connected to the studio. All right, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm telling you, a friend of mine actually texted me that. I didn't make that up. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
My shoe came untied. You know, I don't usually go on long explanations of things like I did today. I don't do that all the time, but I can't sit around and talk about that Democrat convention like it's a legitimate thing. I think there's a much bigger picture going on, which I think I've highlighted most of on the program today.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
For a crash causing heavy delays in Lantana, Hyper-Luxor Road between East Coast Avenue and US 1. North and south up to speed and no delays. Through Jupiter, Palm Beach, West Palm, and Lakewood. This traffic update is sponsored by Mattress Firm. It's Mattress Firm's best sale of the year, Labor Day sale. Save up to $900 on select adjustable mattress sets from Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic, and Sealy. Plus, get up to a $300 instant gift for pillows and more. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC is the county's only OTB location, and this weekend check out Saratoga's biggest race, the Travers Stakes, plus the Charlestown Classic and more. Visit our incredible Paddock restaurant with over 140 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional dining, and full bar. This Sunday, don't miss PBKC's Sports Card and Memorabilia Show with great vendors, door prizes, free admission, and more. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Scott here from CutMyKilowatts.com. We are an energy saving and insulation company. Make your home energy efficient, cut your electric bills up to 50%, and pay little or even nothing for the repairs. Make sure you get your fair share of the Inflation Reduction Act. Rebates up to $14,000 per year. Funds available on a first come, first served basis. Rebate programs for low to moderate income families up to $150,000 of income. $14,000 per year. This is huge. You can use this money for insulation and radiant barrier, up to $2,800 available. Hybrid hot water heaters, up to $3,750 available. AC units, up to $10,000 available. Electric panel upgrades, up to $6,600. And after we reduce your home consumption by 35% or more, you get additional rebate money of $4,000 to $8,000 if you qualify. To find out how much you qualify for, call me 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500. Or go to cutmykilowatts.com and fill out the form.
Hey everyone, Brian Craig here. You asked Mike Lindell and he listened. Mike's offering the queen size.
Now, guys, I put a link there pinned to the top of the chat earlier. EarthyCo.shop. They're sponsoring the show today, and they have a spray on magnesium supplement. It's amazing. You know, I have all kinds of deficiencies. One of them is magnesium. And what a magnesium deficiency does, it causes a lot of problems, but in me, fatigue. And it's an all-natural supplement, and it's really cool. You just spray it on your skin, rub it in, boom. You got it. And it's an all-natural product. And did you know that 75% of Americans are deficient in magnesium? I had no idea. But that is true. And this spray magnesium supplement they offer, already 10,000 people, and I'm one of them, have used it and love it. So you click that link pinned to the top of the chat and order yours, or you can just go to earthyco.shop. That's EARTHYCO. earthyco.shop. All right, and of course, when you do that, you're supporting the channel, guys. And it's greatly appreciated when you do and support our sponsors.
St. Martin, we set sail March 30th. We have private shore excursions, private cocktail parties, group activities. We're going to go to the shows together and much, much more. Call the Inn at Cruise and Travel Depot right now. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. And online at cruisingdepot.com to make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business for 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call.
Oh, well, that's not why I use it, a face for radio, and I did not know it had that side effect, but thank you.
I do and use tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445.
I'll leave that out of the message.
Now, back to the Steve
But I like that
Kane
it's
Show.
spray on. It's very nice, all natural.
Celebrating 47.
All right, coming up on 36 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, you're talking about CNN and the CIA and what they did with these two stories. Think about this. This is how big this is. From the time he came down that escalator, the CIA has been after him, from the Billy Bush thing to spying on him to impeachment on, impeachment to all this stuff. We can go down the list of things that they've done to him. That this is how big these two stories are. This coming out on CNN, which is CIA, as you pointed out, and this is a CIA operation here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I don't think, when you see the stories like, oh, well, that's interesting. Here we are, the week of the Democrat convention. I have never seen CNN do an anti-Democrat Party piece like that during election season. It's just unheard of. I mean, they're a hardcore, very pro-Democrat news outlet. It's a very they brought down Biden, and now they're trying to hurt Kamala.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Think about it. They just ran a regime change against Biden, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again with Kamala.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Hey, Mike, I appreciate the call. Good points. Okay, now the Democrats at their convention, they wanted to, they protect women, they protect children. The opposite is true. There is a new story that just dropped yesterday on Tim Waltz. This is nuts. Okay, I've seen a lot of bad candidates for things. I have never seen a candidate at the level that Tim Waltz is at. He's going for the nomination for Vice President of the United States. That's a big deal. Okay, I've never seen a nominee for Vice President that is as flawed as this guy. We're in the third week of this guy, his introduction to America. I heard of him a couple days before. He's the one that started calling J.D. Waltz weird, okay? And that's when I first heard of him. I didn't even really know his name, and I'm still not even sure how to pronounce it. I heard JD say yesterday Waltz. I don't know where these Democrats, they pronounce their names in ways that just don't make sense because of the spelling. Like, how do you get Fanny out of Fanny? How do you get Kamala out of Kamala? And how do you get Waltz out of W-A-L-Z? There's no T or anything at the end, but J.D. Vance calls him Waltz, so I guess that's how he pronounces it. But anyway, 3 weeks of Waltz, there has not been a single redeeming story in the media about this guy. Every day, there are news stories about different things that would be career-ending for anyone else. A new one just dropped yesterday, and it's in Breitbart, but I don't hear it highlighted anywhere. And this is a shocking one. Governors sometimes give pardons, and sometimes they commute sentences. And, of course, what people really want is pardons. They say that Goldbar Menendez is trying to get a pardon from his bribery conviction from Biden in exchange for him agreeing not to run for the Senate. I don't know. If you have any gold bars left, maybe that'll get you the pardon because they seem to like money. But listen to this. Tim Waltz commuted the sentence of a man who was convicted of murdering an 11-year-old little girl. I mean, what the heck is that all about? Waltz commuted the sentence of a guy named Myron Burrell. Myron Burrell was convicted and sentenced to life in prison for the 2002 murder of 11-year-old Tyesha Edwards. He shot and killed the 11-year-old girl who was doing homework on her kitchen table in Minneapolis. He was convicted. He's done about 20 years. He always maintained his innocence, and people inside Minnesota say he was guilty as sin. And Tim Waltz commuted his sentence. After he got out, he got picked up again for having drugs and a gun in his car. And then he was bailed out by the Minnesota Freedom Fund. So now, these two candidates are the most flawed candidates ever. This is amazing, this story. Okay? Both of them should be run out of the race and not get the nomination this week just based on this. He shot and killed an 11-year-old child, stole her whole life. He commuted the sentence. The guy got out 3 months later. He got picked up on a drug and weapons charge and got bailed out by the Minnesota Freedom Fund. Does that ring a bell to you? The Minnesota Freedom Fund? That's the fund that Kamala Harris was raising money for to bail the looters out of jail when they were burning down Minneapolis. So we got a kitty murderer. A man was murdered an 11-year-old girl. The vice presidential nominee commuted his sentence and let him go free. That girl's parents must be physically ill. He gets arrested again on a serious felony that should land him back in the lockup, and Kamala Harris's organization bails him out? See, this goes back to what I was telling you all about the Democrats being taken over by these hardcore radical people, and that CNN and the powers that be inside the Democrats are trying to purge their party. If you remember, when the squad first went to Washington, Pelosi is pretty out of it now, but she was a little more with it then. And they were doing really weird stuff. AOC and the squad started going through Congress looking for Mitch McConnell's office, and they couldn't find it. Do you remember this? He had two offices, his district office, and then he had like an office as the leader. They couldn't find it, and they were on television looking. We couldn't find it. We're everywhere. We got to tell this guy off, and they couldn't find it. and they were saying crazy things. And Nancy Pelosi was on television. She said, you know, some of these new members have to understand that now they're members of Congress. They're no longer activists, and they have to behave like members of Congress, not activists, right? And that was the beginning of more and more radicalism and craziness going on. How did someone that let an 11, you know, this letting the murder of the 11-year-old girl out of prison, that's not a deep part of a vet. Vetting is when they find that, you know, when you were in college, you did something. These are things that Democrats know because he's, you know, works with BLM and all this stuff. So they know that he did this, and Kamala and her team still approved of him. If the Democrat Party leadership thought that or wanted the Democrats to win the presidency, would they allow a guy with all this stolen valor that's been going on, let a murderer of an 11-year-old little girl out of prison, all these Chinese connections, and Kamala Harris, with all the things we've been talking about with her, get the nomination? The Democrat Party, I've been telling you guys this for weeks and weeks, and no one believes me. The Democrat Party establishment leadership have accepted the fact that Trump's going to win, and they're not even trying. In fact, they don't even want to win the presidency. They want to lose the presidency. This has happened with the Republicans, okay? The Republicans, look at the Republican establishment, right? The Bushes, the Mitch McConnells, the Mitt Romneys, the Paul Ryans, the Karl Roves, those types. They actively have worked against President Trump for years to lose the White House. But they're Republicans. Well, now the Democrats are doing the same thing in their own party. They're actively trying to lose the White House. And I know that sounds nuts, but we've seen our own Republicans do it because they've lost control of the party to the MAGA Republicans through Trump. The Democrats are losing control of their own party because of these radical Muslims and others. And they're trying to get back the control of their party, like the establishment tried and failed to do with Trump and the MAGA movement. All right, we'll take our last break of the second hour. My name's Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Hey, it's time to find new horizons with Margaritaville at Sea. Now sailing 2 new easy breezy cruise options right from Palm Beach. Choose from weekend cruises featuring a fun-soaked Saturday at sea paired with an epic voyage to the crystal clear waters of Grand Bahama. Or venture back to the very start of Margaritaville on unforgettable 4-night cruises to Key West and the Bahamas. Plus, for a limited time, when you pay for 1 guest, up to 3, sail for free. You may be here today, but you could be in paradise tomorrow. Find your next great cruise adventure today at MargaritavilleAtSea.com.
This is John from Lighthouse Medical Center, CFO and Director of Neuropathy. We want to welcome you to Lighthouse Medical Center this year. It's our 75th anniversary, and we've been able to help a lot of patients. We want to be able to help you with your neuropathy issues as well. You have numbness, burning, pain, tingling, lack of sleep, or balance issues, please come see us and let us help you with that problem. There's hope out there for you. We've had thousands of patients come through Lighthouse Medical Center. Being able to see the quality improved in their life and being able to help them and their family has been a blessing to us and a blessing to them, and we look forward to doing that for the next 75 years. We don't just treat neuropathy at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have a specialized knee pain program with non-surgical solutions for bone-on-bone and knee pain issues. We also treat chronic back pain, ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder pain. Call for a free consultation with us today. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
South Florida, are you ready to be a part of history? Fort Lauderdale United FC is bringing women's professional soccer here. For more information, visit FTLUTD.com.
Hey, my True Oldies listeners, John Tesh here with some intelligence for your retirement this time. When you're looking for a retirement advisor, you know trust and experience are two big qualities to look for. And as it turns out, my friend Jupiter Joe Thomas possesses both of these. Whether you're in retirement or looking to retire, I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. Or, even simpler, you can go to JupiterJoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know-It-All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999. Or remember, go to JupiterJoe.com. That's JupiterJoe.com.
Now is the best time when the market is challenged to consider copper, gold,
I don't
silver,
understand. There we go.
metals, clean tech, biotech, and AI.
There we go.
Listen to Money Talk Radio South Florida with me, Ellis Martin, 9:30 a.m. weekdays here on your True Oldie station.
We take on the social justice warriors for...
All right, 10 minutes before 8. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, Larry. How are you?
All right, Larry, what's up?
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if I can completely agree that they want to get them to lose so they can regain the control of the party. I do believe that they put Kamala Harris and this other guy up to get them out of the way. They know they're going to lose. Let's take care of two things at the same time, because they'll give up the 4 years so they can get their guy, Newsom, or that witch in Michigan, or the idiot in Illinois.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. You just have different motivations. And I agree with everything you said, too. I think we're saying the same thing. You know, the Democrats, I've seen the Republicans do this with Trump. The Republicans have actively tried, the establishment. This is the third presidential election the Republican establishment has tried to lose. All three of Trump's, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So wouldn't can't you see the Democrat? And why do they do that? Why does the Republican establishment work for Trump to lose 3 elections now? Why do they do that?
Well, they can't control them.
Well, they lose control of the party, and that's where the money is. So the Democrats, you don't think the Democrats would operate in a similar way? The Democrat establishment losing control to these lunatics, and they're trying to lose to purge themselves of the lunatics, so they have control of the party.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, I did have one thing I wanted to say about Trump and the sentencing in September.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think it would be better for him to get sentenced in September than to wait until after the election.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case, miraculously, that Kamala comes up with $100 million.
Mm-hmm. She's not winning. No, he still does. He has presidential immunity then, too, but she's not going to win. I think it's better for him to get sentenced next month because it'll give us another 5 points in the polls. It looks like what it is. And I'll tell you, that judge could end up in prison. I mean, he's obviously on the take, right? I mean, come on.
Oh, things are so obvious, but that's what makes it so frustrating.
I'm not frustrated. But I can. But my freedom's not on the line.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Take care. See, we're starting to elevate the quality of the calls. Okay, we started out kind of low quality calls. We're getting there. By 9 o'clock, we'll have it all sorted. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey.
Kentucky.
Hey, George.
Hey, I agree with you. You taught me a lesson about not being negative about things and just saying, "Oh, they're going to cheat." No, I agree with that. But people have got to also assume we're going to win. You got to get out there and vote.
Well, obviously.
Locked in. But a lot of people can get that mindset that, well, he's got it won anyway. I can go take the time to go set in line. You got to vote.
Oh, yeah.
Ruthless.
No. We got to have a massive turnout, and I think we are. I'm expecting Trump to get around 100 million. I would hope, because those two ladies that CNN interviewed. How many people are like those two ladies on CNN that are going to vote for Trump even though they hate him out of survival because they can't afford food?
It's so strange to see CNN actually do things in favor of Trump. It's so odd.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but I don't get it.
All right, appreciate the call. Good call. So, okay, now we're getting. This is our regular quality. Okay, we're getting to something good now. Okay, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Pete from Jupiter.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, real quickly, Waltz, he was a history teacher, high school history teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Who were the dumbest teachers that you had in high school?
The one.
The math teachers, right? They were the history teachers.
I don't agree with that. The coach. I thought you were going to say the coaches.
Well, they're like the coach too, right? So they're
Yeah.
Okay. So the other thing is,
and by the way, I just with all due respect, I went to college and I studied to be a history teacher. I am credentialed. I don't teach it. I don't do it. It doesn't pay enough money. I couldn't pay my bills with the teacher salary. Okay, I don't teach. But what's that?
I go to church on a history teacher's salary.
You're an agent of the CCP, and they pay your way.
Exactly. Thank you.
All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Richard Company.
Hey, Richard.
Okay, I was under the impression that if Trump is sentenced, just make believe 1 year in jail, he doesn't. It's not a worry because the cases are still on appeal, and I don't think he has to have house arrest or a regular arrest or anything until it.
What makes you say that?
Well, I heard that.
Where'd you hear that?
I don't know.
See, you whoever said that is operating in a world where the forces against Donald Trump care about the laws and processes. They make up their own things, right? These are not real courts. This court system in New York is a weapon of the Democrat Party. It's not a real court. So these analysts, okay, this analyzing they do, it's like analyzing a football game, but they change the rules all the time so that their team wins, right? You can't analyze a fixed game. If a game is fixed, you can't, if a quarterback has been paid off to get sacked, how can you give analysis on that game, right? So this judge is corrupt.
As a matter of fact, I think back, there are prisoners in jail who are waiting on appeal.
Yeah.
But still, I just can't see it. But can he still, on this so-called house arrest, some of them say, could he go out and have a rally?
It's up to the judge.
Oh, Lord. All right.
Yeah, it's up to the judge, I know. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about the free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's. If you've not taken advantage of this, do it. It will end without notice. I'll get an email one morning before the show. The offer's over, and that'll be it. I will get zero notice. Okay, I'm warning. Now, I have this doorbell camera. I love it. Anytime there's movement at your door, you get a notification on your phone. You can see who's there no matter where you are. If I'm here, if I'm at the store, if I'm on my back porch, if I'm in the backyard, if I'm in the kitchen, and you don't have to answer. It's like, before I had the doorbell, see, I live in this neighborhood where the solicitors, they don't know what soliciting is, and I got sign up, I finally took the no soliciting sign down because none of them paid attention, and I used to have to, I got a hurricane door, there's no peephole in it, So I'd have to look out the window to see who was there, and sometimes they'd see me. Oh, my goodness. It was awful. But with the doorbell camera, I can see who's there. I don't have to go to the door. I don't have to answer the door, and it's great. It's really awesome. Now, you can get that free doorbell camera from Slomin's with the installation of your Slomin Shield. Slomin's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts, a backup battery, a lifetime warranty, and you get the free doorbell camera with the installation of your Slomin's Shield. Give them a call, toll free, 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. You'll love it, I promise you. And it's great for the home security, too, but it's just an incredible, convenient thing to have. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. We have started to elevate the quality of the calls from earlier in the show, which is nice. I appreciate that, because the first couple calls were really the one kind of embarrassing, really. A couple of them are pretty bad. All right, our number to call in, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio. It's crazy, huh? We'll be right back with the final hour after our top-of-the-hour break.
WSFS 104.3.
Okay.
And their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on that.
Now, guys, I just pinned the link to Robert Allen Miltenberg's new book to the top of the chat. It's also in the video description. Robert Allen Miltenberg, he watches on YouTube. He's in there all the time. He doesn't chat as much as some of you, but he's in there. And he's an author. And this is his latest book. It's the third one I've shared with you guys, The Sound of Light. It's a science fiction book. It's free on Kindle Unlimited. So if you click the link and you have Kindle Unlimited, you can get the book for free. But the paperback, which I got, I bought this. It's under $10, and it's got nice size print. Easy on the eyes, which I like. And if you don't have Kindle Unlimited, you can still get it on Kindle, very inexpensive, and under $10 in paperback. He's a good MAGA guy. So click that link and get your copy of his book. His books are all good. This one's very good. I'm reading it now. Well, not this second, but I've been reading it. Off the air. I don't read it while I'm on the air.
And used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
CutMyKilowatts.com. This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even doubled. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales, save 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation removal, rat proofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off Radiant Barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet.
We'll be back in 18 seconds.
So call now 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or CutMyKilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show.
All right, hour number 3 has begun. It's 5 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. I am doing well. Call us on hold, stand by. We'll get you in just a bit. The first 2 hours of the show were pretty heavy. If you missed it, you missed a lot. No, I cannot. It took 90 minutes to get through it. But yeah, I mean, there are things happening. The Democrat Party is in chaos, and it's a beautiful thing. And I'll tell you, I'm not watching any of that convention. There's no way in hell am I watching that convention. Did you watch any of it? I got depressed. So. I do. Why are you depressed? They're losing. They're losers who are losing. I was a kid when he was on TV, but I used to watch his show. Well, when I was out of school for the summer, I used to watch Phil Donahue. I liked his show.
Very talented man.
If you go back though and you watch some of the shows, he was a little weird on TV.
He didn't do the kind of talk that we do.
He was, They tried for a while. He was very. I liked his show. I'm not going to tell. I mean, I did like Phil Donahue's daytime talk show. I used to watch it every summer when I was out of school, and it was edgy for its time. Yeah. Yeah, but he got canceled. It was really humiliating. He had a terrible ending on television, and then a few years.
What was there a story with them?
No one watched it anymore. I can't remember. I was trying to remember this yesterday. Did Phil Donahue do a show in New York or Chicago?
New York.
Because you were on. Were you on Donahue?
Yeah. Well, yes, a couple times.
It was New York. The New York station stopped carrying Donahue, and because he was syndicated. And the New York station stopped carrying Donahue, that was the end of it. He was gone not long after that, off of everywhere. It was really bad. And then a few years later, they brought him back. He did a show on MSNBC, and he was a liberal guy, and he was trying to do a show on MSNBC without an audience and the microphone and stuff, and that didn't work. Back when Tim Russerton and Chris Matthews were around. And that failed, and then he didn't do anything for a long time. When did Phil Donahue's show go off television? It had to be before 9/11.
I don't know the years, but I know that...
Do you remember what you were on it for?
Yeah.
The topics?
I was
on as a talk show host.
Oh, okay.
It was around the time that I believe that Alan, it was right down.
That's when you were in New York?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was edgy for its time, but it's a good way to put it. But anyway.
Well, you're going to see a lot now because I saw he did a really good show with Donald Trump back in the 80s, and that's I've seen some clips of it online, so that you'll probably see some of that because Trump is in the news and Phil Donahue is in the news, and so you might. And that one was a pretty good show. But if you go back and you watch the old Phil Donahue interview with Trump, he was saying the same stuff then he's saying now. I mean, he has been very consistent. Didn't realize it, and it's amazing to me that he was he was talking about China and everything about everything back in the 80s and 90s, just like he does now, and they still loved him.
It's very straight in the non-sexual sense.
Phil Donahue?
Yeah, there was nothing exciting about it. Or it was,
vanilla?
Yeah.
When he got desperate, I do remember one thing he did that was a desperate thing. He did his whole show in a dress once on television. And, to try to get publicity, that was like really desperate. Yeah. Anyway. Not we, you. Not we, you. No, I was not your wardrobe guy. I was your board op. I just started working with you. I'd worked with you for like 2 weeks, and then you did that thing in drag where you wore a thong. Oh, my gosh. And Rick Siderman, yeah, exactly. Now, I don't know. It was weird. Do you remember where it was? Oh, this was great. So for those that don't know, Steve, with 2 other radio personalities, did this appearance. We did a live remote, and they were all in drag. You were wearing like women's lingerie that was see-through and stuff, and a thong. And the 3 of you did the show in this drag, and we had a lot of listeners show up to that. I mean, a lot. It was very weird. Yeah, and right before that, I had just quit working at a big FM radio station, and I thought I'd made the right decision. I'm like, where am I? I was, because I was working at Y100, which at the time was like the #1 station, and I was not on the air, guys. Okay, I wasn't on the air on Y100, but and I went to work over there. And I thought, what am I doing? When I tell you the name of the place, you should easily remember. We promoted it. It was an indoor flea market called the Bazaar, and we marketed the event as the Bazaar at the Bazaar, with you guys in drag. Not me. I was wearing jeans and a t-shirt. Okay, but you were in drag. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. You're going to do the drag show on the cruise in March, by the way.
Is there a drag show?
Well, we can have a one-man show. We can have a one-man show. Steve used to do weird stuff because that was around the time. You must have been going through some weird phase because that's around the time you did that drag show was about the time you did that play, Doubles. Okay, listen to this, Mike. Steve did a stage play at a theater in Wilton Manors, and you had a nude scene with full frontal nudity on stage in front of a live audience. Now, that I did not see, but I remember it. All right, before we go to the phones, there is one clip I want to play that I played in the first hour, okay? Kamala Harris, this is amazing to me. Kamala Harris, when she was running for president last time, was speaking to a group, I think they were Indians. Native American Indians, okay? Like, Cherokee Nation type Indians, okay? And she said this, listen.
So let me just say, I strongly believe and take very seriously that we must acknowledge that the government of the United States stole land, took land from the tribes, and that there must be a restoration of that ownership for those lands that were possessed by the tribes. So that is a value I hold very dearly and very strong.
Okay, now she says the tribe. She doesn't mean the 12 tribes of Israel. She means Native American Indian tribes. And she says tribes, not Indians, because she's Indian, and she doesn't like the Indians being called Indians. But what she said 4 years ago is that the stolen land from the Indians that the United States is occupying needs to be returned to the Indians. So now that she's getting the nomination for president this week, do you think she plans on signing America over to the Indians, Steve, if she wins? My goodness. Where are these things coming from? All right, let's take a call or two, then we'll break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm Chris from Pamela.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
I did wind up watching about 10 minutes of the convention because, my roommate, Jimmy, he's pretty cool, but he just wanted to watch it for laughs. But, my goodness, the lies, I don't know, the perception they're trying to throw out there, but they're desperate people, and I just couldn't.
Listen, I saw some of the highlights, okay? It's freaks and weirdos. Childless cat ladies. They have gender-neutral bathrooms. They have all kinds of weird. It's the freaks and geeks prom is what it is. It's a weirdo place. It's what it is. I mean, it's a collection of rejects.
And with a snowball effect. I mean, wow, wow.
Listen. What are you hearing there? Right? America's evil. Bring down America. You're not hearing anything that is a positive vision for anything. It's all negative destruction of America. That's all you're hearing about. All you're hearing about. So I don't understand why it's yeah, go ahead.
In the same paragraph, they'll throw out a lie that they may steal from a conservative standpoint to bag a few more people, with them.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a second. You just said this, but now you're going to destroy that. And wait a minute, your current administration is doing nothing other. You want to do this, you should have been doing it already.
I mean, it's, I've been I was laying out a case with a lot of evidence in the first couple hours of the show that the Democrat establishment is trying to lose the presidency. They're trying to cleanse themselves of these radical lunatics that have hijacked their party. The Democrat establishment is trying to do to their own party what the Republican establishment was trying to do with us, our party. They wanted to cleanse our party of MAGA. They failed. And the Democrats are trying to purge themselves of these lunatics that are destroying their party and get back the control of it. And more evidence of that. Last night, David Axelrod said, after that first night, that if the election were held today, Donald Trump would win. That's David Axelrod. He's like number one advisor to Obama. So if you got David Axelrod saying Trump's going to win, come on. They're not even trying to hype their people up.
Yeah, I mean, and it's obvious. And then the one young, fresh representative, whatever you want to call him, congressman from Kentucky, he gets up there and he's sold, and he gets up there and says, "Oh, he's all for abortion, this and that, and everything, right?" And then the second sentence is the Bible. He's quoting from the Bible. Come on, you agree with killing people, and you want to quote the Bible?
Yeah, that's one of the Big Ten.
What is that?
Exactly. Yeah. All right, appreciate the call. Good call. Made some good points. He got to give him some props. He suffered through some of that convention. All right, we'll take our break and be back.
Don't sit on this.
Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning. Barry, did we lose you? I think the line went dead, Mike. I mean, maybe you could try to get him back. We'll just continue on. We'll stop the show in progress if you get him back. No, I don't plan on watching any of it this week, Steve. I cannot sit and watch it for extended periods of time. I just can't do it. I don't care if it's my duty here, okay? If something of interest happens, I'll catch it on the highlights. I just can't get myself to watch it. And I'll tell you, We haven't heard from a single Democrat today excited about their own convention. Our convention was an actual pep rally. Yeah. All right, let's go. Attorney Barry Siegel, we got you now. Good morning, Barry.
All right. Can you hear me now?
I can. See, that call. You see, you've got to always plan. You never know what's going to happen, right?
And speaking of planning, our goal at the Siegel Law Group is to help our clients have an estate plan that's going to work when they need it to work. And the first step to having an estate plan that works is doing an estate plan. And the first step to doing an estate plan is getting started. And we have two options to get started. You can call our office, schedule your free consultation, or you can attend one of our seminars, one of our workshops that we're doing. We actually have two going on today. One is in Fort Lauderdale this morning at 10 a.m. in our Fort Lauderdale office, and we're excited because this is our first time doing a seminar in Broward County since pre-pandemic. So we're really excited to be back here in Broward County and doing our workshop for our Fort Lauderdale friends. We have one going on in Naples, Florida today as well, also at 10 a.m. And next week on the 29th at 10 a.m., we're going to have our next seminar in Boca Raton at our Boca Raton office. So if anybody's interested in getting started and they want the opportunity to learn about estate planning and learn about the Siegel Law Group and also be able to pick up by attending and making your consultation appointment at the seminar, you can get a discount certificate for up to $500 off of any planning that you would do.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And I'll tell you, I've been to a lot of Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group's workshops, okay? And I've learned something in every one, and it's amazing. There are so many eventualities that you could not even imagine that Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group cover for you. But I think a big benefit, Barry, for people that come to the workshop, of course, they get a lot of good information. They get the discount certificate. But, when you're doing your planning, that's your family. That's your life. And I think it's a good opportunity for people to be able to meet you, meet your staff, meet the other attorneys, meet everybody that works for your office, and get to know the people that you're putting the future of your family's hands in. And I think you'll be very, very impressed and blown away. And I'll tell you, I have never been to one of your workshops where at the end of it, people were not lining up to get their planning done with you. It's pretty impressive when you see how detailed everything is. So give the Siegel Law Group a call. If you can't make those workshops today, ask them about the future workshops, okay? The number's toll-free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we will talk later in the week. All right, we'll be right back.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show. Greg, listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96 FM, and...
All righty, coming up on 22 minutes after the hour, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Juan from Coral Springs.
Hey, Juan.
Hey, good morning, Steve. Good morning, Brian. You just said something and this is a true question. That David Axelrod is he's the number one advisor for Obama. But the thing is that you say that they want to get the Democrat Party away from these Marxists, these leftists, these communists. If you ask me, there is actually no difference between Kamala Harris and Obama. I mean, these people want to take this country to communism because they think that it will not fail in this country.
No, okay. I didn't communicate. They're not. No. That what I'm telling you is the powers that be, which are the establishment of the Democrat Party, are trying to get back control of the party from these lunatics, so they can win future elections, so that they can get their money from the government. They're the Democrat Party establishment. They're left-wing lunatics too, but they're losing control to these jihadis, to the squad people, and there's different groups, like in the Republic.
Feeling that they're in control at all.
And they're trying to get it back. That's why they want. Listen, the Republican establishment want. I'm sure you agree. The Bushes, the Romneys, the Ryans, the Karl Roves. Okay, they're conservative. Hold on, but listen, they're conservatives. You're a conservative. I'm a conservative. They're conservatives. But those jerks. This is the third presidential election they've tried to lose because they hate Trump. Right? Doesn't mean they're not going. Okay, so and the reason they do that is they would rather lose the election than lose control of the party, because the control of the party is where they make their money. The same thing is true in the Democrat Party. They're still left-wing lunatics, Marxist, and all this stuff, but they're losing control of the piggy bank of the Democrat Party establishment, and they're trying to purge some of the squad. Okay, you understand what I mean?
Now I do.
Yes, that's why so Pelosi and Obama and the rest are like Karl Rove and the Bushes. They're trying to lose the presidential election for their party. That's why David Axelrod said if the election were held today, Trump would win. Right? He speaks for Obama. All right, Carla? Okay. All right, we finally agree on something. First time ever. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. Good morning.
Hey, Richie.
Good morning.
Hey, Richie.
Yeah, I'm a political junkie. I couldn't watch the crap last night.
No way.
It was I was watching little pieces of it. I was waiting for Biden, so I got to bed very late because I listened to Biden on a podcaster. And the funny thing is, the podcast, Biden was yelling at everybody, screaming at them. I mean, it was like it's terrible, awful. And this guy was dubbing in Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler is screaming, you know how Hitler
yes.
was throwing that in there as Biden. And it really, I started laughing because it's actually, he sounded like Adolf Hitler in English.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But he mentioned one thing that really put a light bulb on him. Like, he said the people protesting for the Palestinians out there on the streets have a point. And I couldn't believe it.
Oh yeah, Biden, yes. Well, what was the point? On
Israel. They're turning on Israel.
See, now that's one of the things I was talking about, okay? There's a lot of left-wing Democrats who are Jews that are left-wing Marxists, but they don't like these jihadis wanting to wipe out Israel because they're Jews. They don't want to be exterminated. So one of the things they're trying to get control of the party from are from the jihadis. Look at how much sucking up these Democrats have to do to the jihadi wing of their party right now. That's part of the party they want to purge.
Yeah, but she met in private with the mayor of Dearborn.
Kamala's not the establishment. She's the one that they're trying to. Do you think Pelosi, who was first introduced to Kamala Harris as Willie Brown's side piece, wants to have to stand up when Kamala walks in the room and call her Madam President? She's thinking, come on. So Pelosi is operating for Kamala to lose.
What about the press?
If you heard earlier in the show these things I played from CNN were playing all these Democrats that are interviewing Democrats who hate Trump that are voting for him out of the survival of being able to afford food.
But they were the ones that them and all the others said that Trump had met at Mar-a-Lago with an anti-Semite.
Mm-hmm.
Time they never mentioned her secret meeting twice.
Correct. She met with Kamala Harris met with the anti-Semitic Islamic mayor of Dearborn, who's like 34 years old or something, and pleaded with him to get the jihadis off her back.
And in closing, you are hitting it right on the head. It is such a freak show. It is such a dishonest. It's a production like the January 6th Commission that's meant only to snowball and to fool the American people. She sits there, and it just made me sick.
And I'll tell there was. Listen, I'm not going to watch it at all this week. If anything eventful happens, I'll catch it in the news. I'm not, But I did see, and I watched highlights. I went through it in the news this morning when I was doing my prep. But Ashley Biden, there were two things with her. She introduced her dad. She looked like she was stoned out of her mind the way she was talking, didn't she? She looked really hot. Oh, my daddy, the president. But did you see the camera gave a close-up of Kamala while Ashley Biden was talking? I've never seen Kamala look like that. She was in a rage. She looked angry, filled with hate. She hates Ashley Biden. You should see the look. I don't know what happened with those two, but Kamala hates her.
Disgusting. She is a disgusting candidate and a big. The American people. This will be the end of America. If she ever gets in there, Brian,
She's not getting in there.
Oh my gosh, she's awful.
She'll be back in San Francisco before you know it. 6 months, she'll be back in California.
Steve, Phil Donahue, stay healthy, brother. We're watching everybody that we know hit the bricks. And
it happens.
3 years.
He was what?
A long time.
Yeah. What did he die of? What did he had cancer? Yeah.
I think they said he was sick for a long time.
You know, I'll tell you the thing about it when you because I'm not as old as you guys, but I'm getting, and I watch a lot of old TV shows, and like I was mentioning a little earlier, WKRP, one of the greatest television shows of all time, and I was watching The Love Boat last night instead of the Democrat convention, and Frank Bonner was on, who played Herb Tarlick. He died. He had Alzheimer's and dementia. I'm like, oh my, everybody's dead. As you get older, it happens. They drop like flies. Then you're all alone. But
you're going to see less weddings and more funerals.
But I'll tell you what I've learned, okay? And I tell this to you too, Steve, sometimes. All your friends that are alive, you guys are a lot older than me. Your friends that are alive are the non-smokers. All the smokers are dead, pretty much, right?
Smoke.
Yeah, and you're alive. Steve didn't smoke. You're alive. And your friends that are... And your friends that are alive probably didn't smoke either.
No, my the same as it.
That's right. The smokers they drop like flies when they're in their 60s. They start dropping like flies. They make it 65, they're dead. All right, take care, Richie. We'll be right back.
Morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
I didn't watch it either, but of course Instagram was going to throw highlights out. But
Yeah.
The conservative Republican MAGA pages I followed posted one video which I was cracking up. Was I don't know who it was, but he was reading off the teleprompter and it wasn't working, so he just sat there.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yes, he didn't know what to say. Yeah, he was lost.
He was just sitting there with a confused look his finger and just.
Yep, I saw that. Yeah, he looked like an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. It's like no one else has their own thoughts. They have to read it off.
He didn't know what was next. He couldn't cover.
Yeah, exactly. He made it look worse and worse. But people still.
It was yeah.
Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC is the county's only OTP location, and this weekend check out Saratoga's biggest race, the Traverse Stakes.
Kamala Harris committed to strengthening legal immigration.
Visit our incredible paddock restaurant with over 140 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional dining, and full bar. This Sunday, don't miss PBKC's sports card and memorabilia show with great vendors, door prizes, free admission, and more. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Hey, how you doing? Good, thanks. What was I doing? Oh, I thank you, but no, I can't.
Steve Kane Show listener since 1993. Debbie even handles Steve Kane's Medicare. So if you're not happy with your current Medicare plan, give Debbie a call right now and go over the options. 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. And online, iwilladvisors.com.
Hi, this is Maureen Cohen from Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens. We are so excited to be celebrating 50 years here in South Florida. The Cohen family started their first health food store in 1972, and ever since have been one of the largest locally owned, family-run health food stores in the area. We carry thousands of supplements like vitamins, minerals, herbs, homeopathics, diet and fitness, and so much more. All your favorite top-quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic, as well as health and beauty aids, pet foods, and more. Visit Vanessa, Trish, Denson, Scott, and Bruce. They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the northeast corner of PGA Boulevard and Prosperity Farms Road in the Carmine's Market Plaza by the Prosperity entrance. You can call us or text us anytime at 561-626-4377.
We'll be back shortly.
That's 626-4377. Or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World, Palm Beach.
All right.
Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. I am pleased to say our relationship with the Steve Kane Show and the show's listeners keeps getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
The Steve Kane Show listeners are truly the best customers we have ever had. They are courteous, intelligent, honest, and quite a joy to work with. We have completed thousands of projects for the listeners, from repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches, with great success, and every one of those customers are like family. We have installed all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingles, clay, and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. So come on, and let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602, or find us on the web at laportacontracting.com. The number again is 954-604-4602.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with.
Alrighty, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. Let's go back to the phones. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, is this me?
Yep.
Oh, yes, sir. My name's John from Boca. First of all, Brian, you kept looking for the reporter from ABC who gave that disgusting question to President Trump at the Black Summit. Her name's Rachel Scott from ABC. Hopefully she ain't doing the debate with Trump and Harris and everything. You can't miss her at the Democrat in the convention. She'll be the one with the pom-poms over there cheering on Kamala.
Oh, yeah.
Just say hello to everybody in your chat room. Charmaine, it's a great chat room for people that have the opportunity. Please simulcast and take a listen to that chat room if you could. Brian, I mainly want to call to thank you once again. The power of the Steve Kane Show just never surprises, never ends. It just keeps getting better and better. My mother drives a Tesla. She just put in $2,800 having work to be done. They told her she needed 4 new tires on her car. And the quote they gave her was nearly almost $2,000.
What?
I took the initiative. I said, "Mom, you have to pay. I'm going to pay for the tires, and number 2, I'm going to Friendly Mike." I went over to the man. He got me 4 quality tires. He told me, first of all, he told me I needed 2 tires. So now not only is he friendly, but he's honest, too. But I said, "No, Mike, let's go all 4, because I want peace of mind. I want my mother to be safe on the road. I trust you." And by the time we got done, Brian, those same tires I went ahead and had to get from the service over there at Tesla cost me $1,100. I saved $800 on it. It was the best I ever made. Now my mother's got peace of mind, and so do I. Thanks to you, thanks to Steve, and thanks to Front. Once again, people, go out there. Seeing is believing right now. You don't have to drive a Tesla. You can drive a Honda. You can drive a Volkswagen. You will save money. Brian, trust me, and it never fails you. Brian, thank you.
All right, I think we just got the new, Mike, I think that's the new commercial for Friendly Tire, okay? Give him a call. All right, appreciate the call. I did not know that Friendly Tire did Tesla tires, but now we know. Steve, this Democrat convention last night, I only have one clip I wanted to play, and it's of Biden. And I'm sure everyone's going to play this today, but I don't, well, let me just play it, and then we'll talk about it, okay? This is Biden Here we go.
Kamala and I are committed to strengthening legal immigration.
Okay, he said, Kamala and I are committed to strengthening illegal immigration. And when Biden says that, it's so easy for people to say, oh, he's just out of it. I don't think that's the case. I think he said what he was thinking. I just don't think he either doesn't have the capacity to edit his words and give a political answer, or he just doesn't care anymore because they ran him out of the office and he's pissed off and he's trying to screw Kamala over. I don't know, but that was not a slip-up. I think he said exactly what he meant to say, Joe Biden, and I think he's just plenty pissed off. You know, Steve, the Bidens, I want you guys to think about what happened. This coup that they did against the Bidens, forcing him out, okay? Joe and Jill, and there's been some reporting, there was a big article in the Daily Mail a couple days ago about Jill with this. They feel that they've been betrayed by their friends of 50 years, including Pelosi. And Pelosi, did you see Pelosi on TV last night, Steve? She said, I did what I had to do. Yeah, well, I think what you need to do is keep an eye on your husband, because when you're out of town, he's getting in all kinds of adventures, okay, and that he doesn't get into when you're in town. But the Bidens feel betrayed by their friends of the last half century, and these are not people that just get depressed. They get revenge. And when he said Kamala and I are committed to illegal immigration, I think he said that on purpose. I don't think he'd slip. What he means by it is that Kamala is going to continue illegal immigration. That's what he said. I mean, that's what he meant. He's trying to screw her over. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes. Is this Craig?
Yes.
Hey, how you doing this morning?
All right.
Maybe I'm from Birmingham, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes, Charles.
Donald Trump. Hey, how you? Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, he's the right man for the job.
That's right.
Laid out a plan. He have laid out a plan. We have seen him lay out plans before, and he followed those plans. He haven't made a law or any
What is the plan?
To make America great again. That's the Trump plan.
Yes, sir. As an African American man, he haven't made any policies that hurt me. It happened. I am scared of Kamala Harris. I'm very scared because I know what she did out there in San Francisco. She destroyed the state of California.
You know, let me tell you. You know, you're calling from Birmingham, Alabama. You know, Birmingham, Alabama. You know, the Democrats put Martin Luther King in jail in Birmingham, Alabama, and they wanted to lynch him in Birmingham, Alabama. And he wrote one of his famous book is Letters from the Birmingham Jail. You know, Democrats hate black people. They used to enslave black people. Then they spent 100 years with their Jim Crow terrorizing black people, and they're trying to get you back on the plantation now. They're pissed off that black people are voting Republican in large numbers, and they hate black people more than ever now. You know, so I don't understand why anyone who's African American would be voting Democrat, especially, you know, in Birmingham. What's the word on the streets in Birmingham? Is Birmingham Trump country or Kamala country?
Yeah, well, we have a lot of people that's going to vote Donald Trump, but they're not openly saying it.
Sure.
We got a mayor down here. He'll fix the downtown up, and the rest of the community is going to waste. He's supporting Kamala Harris, which
oh my goodness,
I'm not surprised at. But like I said, and like I said in closing, I see what's going on. And I voted Democratic all my life, and then I got to a point that why do I keep voting for these people? It's not getting better for my community. It's not getting.
When was the first time you did not vote Democrat?
It was the first time I voted Donald Trump, and then we tried to rerun.
Oh, in 2016. So you voted for Obama, and then you voted for Trump in 2016?
Yes, sir, I did.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. Isn't that nice? That's great.
Yes, sir, I did. You know, because of policy.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Johnson was accused of the Mann Act, and a lot of people didn't know that was his wife. No president took that off him. He died in shame. But Donald Trump went up in there and took that off him. When you had all these Democratic presidents in there, and they didn't even think about doing that. And that right there really bothered me.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, okay, and only because you come from Birmingham, okay. Martin Luther King was put in jail in Birmingham by a Democrat. Martin Luther King was a Republican at the time, and the Democrats is who Martin Luther King was fighting against in Birmingham. Okay, so get his book, Letters from the Birmingham Jail, and read it. Martin Luther King, it'll make you proud. All right, hey, listen, thanks for the call. All right, we're gonna. Stay tuned. The gold report's coming up. It's a great day for gold. We're going to take a break and be back with the gold report after this.
The cold, hard,
all right, and on the line from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca is William Youngerman with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. How's gold looking this morning, William?
Gold's looking very powerful, hitting new highs again this morning, pulling back a little bit yesterday, giving us a little bit of a buying opportunity as it traded from $24.85 on the low to $2,511 on the high, and closed out the day above $2,500 at $2,504 the ounce, down $3.70. Silver was up 33 cents at $29.34 the ounce. Platinum gained $2 at $956, and palladium was down $23 at $912. The markets overnight and this morning have traded in a range for gold, $24.97 on the low, $2,530 on the high. And right now we're up $21.40 on gold at $25.40 the ounce. Silver up 36 cents at $29.70. Platinum gaining $4 at $960, and palladium up $13 at $925. Gold continuing its push towards our target of $2,600 this year, which we may be low on, and the dollar continues to fall. So if you're going to Europe or anywhere, you're going to end up paying more for everything. But right now, gold $2,525 now.
This is amazing, and I want to tell people, of course, William Youngerman sells the gold. You also buy the metals, and you introduced us on this program to something years ago that had never occurred to me, and it's really a cool thing to do. Now, if people have old jewelry or anything made of the metals, they can come over and sell it, and you give them cash, and that's if you need cash, it's a good thing. But you suggested something, and this is a really cool thing maybe you could tell people about. If people have like old jewelry and broken jewelry, things made of gold, they can actually exchange it and get like gold coins, right? How does that work? Tell me how that...
Bring in your jewelry or anything that you're not wearing anymore, or old tea sets or sterling silver flatware, trade it into some useful or at least something that you can trade in the form of gold coins or silver coins that you have an investment that you can actually monitor the value, and it certainly becomes very easy to pass on to your heirs that way.
Yeah, your old out-of-date broken jewelry or sterling silver set, you can't look at that and say it's worth this. But if you get silver coins or bars or gold coins, you can look at it. Okay, I got this many ounces, and this is what it's worth. So that's a really good suggestion you had, William Youngerman. I never thought it seems so obvious, but I guess all brilliant things seem obvious once you're told them. But that's a good idea. All right, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. You can stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. His number, toll-free, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, and online, WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll touch base tomorrow. All right, back after this.
Take on the social justice warriors for breakfast.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. Today's go ahead. I was going to say, after the show, I got to rush home I've got a new MyPillow coil mattress coming this morning, and my wife and I, we got a new bed. It's a different size than our old bed, so we got a new mattress, and we got a coil mattress, which I've not had in years. I didn't know MyPillow had coil mattresses. We got a MyPillow coil mattress, and Steve, it's a massive discount. It's a massive discount when you use your name, Kane, Kane, at checkout. A huge discount on the MyPillow mattress, and I'm very excited. I'll tell you guys all about it once I'm sleeping on it, but the MyPillow coil mattress, it is a massive discount with the promo code Kane at checkout. So if you need a new mattress, they have them at MyPillow. They don't just have coil mattresses, by the way. They have many different types of mattresses. But my wife and I are like, hey, let's go old school. Let's get a coil mattress. So it's arriving this morning. I'm very excited, and I did what I tell you guys to do. Well, my wife did. We went to mypillow.com. We picked out our mattress. We used the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, which you can use on all the specials site-wide, and got a massive discount. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. All right, Jay, wanted to go somewhere, or do you want to take some calls? What do you want to do?
It's a silly question. Looking forward for a while now to find out about voting early.
I don't know when the voting early for the presidency starts, but there's primaries going on now in South Florida. So there's primaries going on. You can go out and vote in primaries right now. Yeah, these are primaries for November on local elections. Yeah. And some of them are congressional elections, by the way. They're not just like city commissioners and stuff. All right. But that's going on right now. Yeah. Okay, let's go. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, guys. It's Al.
Ugh. Yes.
I have a question for you. Your opening monologue was quite interesting. Can I quote you that you said the Democrats orchestrated the January 6th insurrection? Is that correct? That's what you said earlier this morning, right?
No.
Okay, I recorded that, so I'll be sure.
All right, play it back. Play it back right now. Play it back right now. But you got the recording. I'll wait. Listen, we have 8.5 minutes left. Get the recording and put the phone up to it. I didn't say the Democrats caused January 6th, but if I did, I'd like to hear it. You have the recording. No. Play it to me. Play it to me right now. Why not? You've got it. By the way, if I said that, it's no secret. I said it on 6 radio stations this morning. What?
The 1990s used to be for free speech.
It is now. I'm trying. You say that I said something. Let me tell you. If there's tape of me saying that, it's AI. I did not say that. No. I said, see, you must have, you know what? The Thunderbird must not have worn off yet. You must have still been drunk, and Thunderbird wine. What I said was this. But you're not going to play the tape back? Cue it up. Cue it. Why not? You've got a tape that's going to embarrass me. You got a tape. Yeah, I like how he thinks he got me on something that I said on the radio. This is what I said. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I said, but you are welcome to play the tape back. What I said was the Democrat insurrection, which is commonly known as the American Civil War, never ended. I said, before I said the American Civil War, I said the Democrat insurrection against the federal government, and I'm not talking about January 6th, commonly known as the American Civil War. That's what I said. Well, play the tape back. Cue it up and play it back right now over the phone, man. Your office? Go. How big is your house? Walk over to your office where you watch porn all day, okay, and cue it up. What the hell do you have an office for? Well, why do you have an office? Go walk to. How big is your house? How big is your house? You probably live in a one-bedroom efficiency. Come on. You're not in a mansion.
I'm a couple.
100 feet? What are you, Jay-Z? What do you got, a mansion like Jay-Z?
I was a few parkours away from your station. Okay, but
Walk over to your office and play the tape. Nobody else would do this on the radio, you know. Go and do it. You've got an embarrassing tape of me. Go and play it.
Several 100,000 Facebook. You're going to get so many calls from progressives.
Thank you. Thank you for the free publicity. So why will you not play the tape of me saying what you claim I said?
Well, you know, Trump is so corrupt.
No. Why are you not playing Why are you not playing the tape of the? All right, all right. Now he's having a manic episode. He's getting nuts there. Oh my goodness. By the way, guys, caller, hold on. I'm going to put you on hold, caller. I'm going to tell you guys this, okay? If you want to hear what I said, what time will it be up online, Mike? 10 o'clock? By 10 o'clock, if you go to our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com, every day around 10, the entire Steve Kane Show is uploaded as a podcast on our radio station website. And you can go back and you can listen to what I said. I don't remember the exact words I said, but I was paraphrasing myself there. It was very similar to that because I remember it. But I just think he was drunk. Now, the Thunderbird wine reference, when we were on the last cruise, Steve, an English gentleman came up to PJ and asked him if he could recommend a fine American wine, and PJ said Thunderbird. Nothing but the best. It tastes. I like it in those brown paper bags. All right, let's go. You're on the. You're Thunder. I know that cracked. I almost broke a rib when he. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Greg.
Oh, hey, Greg.
Your show now pretty much consists of conspiracy theories and all this undermining of, for example...
I call it analysis, but okay.
Well, you know what? They're so far-fetched and they never come true. Do you recall like a couple things you thought that were going to occur, predictions like over at the
I know. I said. I'm not saying this is happening, but it could, and it wasn't me that suggested that. It was President Trump.
Analysis.
No. Excuse me. That was not my analysis. That was the analysis of President Trump. He posted it on Truth Social. These guys think they caught me on things. You realize the only thing you know that I've said is on radio stations. You don't have like some secret tapes of me in back rooms. Copy other people's material. I was talking about something that President Trump posted on Truth Social. Now I'm a plagiarist?
They're going to be wrong then. Okay, does that make you feel better?
I didn't. Neither of us said it would happen. There was a possibility of it.
No way, absolutely.
Not now. It's too late now. Yes.
Oh, now it's too late. Yeah. Well, okay, that was wrong.
But I mean, you can point me to be wrong all the time. But I remember you used to call yourself Greg for DeSantis. What happened to that? Greg for DeSantis. He was going to be the guy. He was going to be the nominee. So you were wrong. So are you a nut too, or is it just me? It's okay for you to be wrong?
That didn't involve some whacked out conspiracy theory.
Ron DeSantis in high heels beating Trump and being president was not far-fetched?
To lose, right?
Correct. The establishment, yes.
Why didn't they keep Biden in there, who Trump was crushing and he didn't have a shot? Why did they remove him where Trump was a sure...
Biden did an interview about a week or so ago, and he said in their internal polling, it showed with him on the ballot that their down ballot races, congressional races, they were going to get creamed in. and they're trying, but they'll do a little better in congressional races. What? He was being very honest about their internal polling. Yes.
You thought was actually.
You understand? You sound unhinged. You sound hysterical. You sound hysterical. You sound incredibly hysterical, like a woman.
Here's another one. We want proof of life of Biden. Do you think he's still alive? Other little.
That was not a prediction. That was called a joke. He had not been seen for 2 weeks, and I said we need proof of life. That's called humor and sarcasm.
You are kidding me. No one found that humorous that we want to.
No, you just don't have a sense. You just don't have a sense of humor. But listen, to be hysterical, at least you're still getting your. To be hysterical, at least you're still getting your period and have not hit menopause yet. You sound like a hysterical woman. That's right, you do. Okay, all right, okay. No, we're out of time. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve's here. I'm Brian Craig. See you tomorrow, 6 a.m.
WSFS 104.3 HD3.
What a nut. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already subbed, please like the video. All right, take care.